we've got the market open coming up, and we'll keep an eye out on Shriram Metallic, a couple other stocks as well, which we will get to in just a bit. But the first rates on the indices, 24,800 plus, 830 is where we are starting. That's about a 0.25% higher. This, of course, after yesterday's 70-point gain on the Nifty. The Bank Nifty is up about 0.4. And that also pulled back nicely towards the end of the day. It was looking sulky all day, and then it pulled back. You've got the Sensex at about 81,100 plus. The IT index is starting a 0.5% higher. The IT index took a bit of a break yesterday. It was FMCG and pharma which participated on the upside, sectorally speaking. And that's the heat map for you. So you can see there's I think about 10 stocks lower, 40 higher broadly. So it's overwhelmingly up and about at this point in time. 55 on the Nifty.
Just looking at some of these block trades that were happening. On Kalyan, I think the block has happened, at least one of them. The stock is up about 6%. Shriram Metallics, which Nigel was alluding to, is off to a flying start on that UBS note. 8-9% up on Shriram Metallics. So it's once again proving to be a day where the broader markets are really catching the attention. Zomato, taking over the ticketing business from Paytm. That stock's up about 2% as well. So some of these newsmakers are the big high flyers this morning. On the large cap screen, it's actually looking pretty okay. Grasim is the top leader, which is a rarity. Don't see that often. But Grasim is up almost 1%. Infosys is also gaining ground 1% higher. LTI, Mindtree, Wipro. So there's a bit of a technology flair to things. The Bank Nifty is actually doing better than the Nifty now. And that would be courtesy in ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, SBI, Indices chipping in. Let's see what HDFC Bank is doing. Yep, that's also on the upside, about 0.5% on the gaining side. So banks for a change are leading from the start. Let's see if that will continue. There is a bit of a cool-off on Dr. Reddy's after yesterday's big run. SBI Life also, we were just discussing the big move on life insurers yesterday. So again, a little bit of profit-taking, but nothing more than that, actually. The rest of the market's quite okay. Power Grid is the only Nifty stock that's down more than 1%. Other than that, it's actually a pretty green-looking screen. Reliance, all the biggies. HUL up about 0.5%. Reliance is up and about. So largely speaking, it's a good opening. 66 points at the start for the Nifty.
Well, that's right. Plenty of stocks moving around. Deepak Nitrite, that's up closer on 3.5%. Sonal told us earlier about the DGTR has recommended anti-dumping duty on isopropyl alcohol. So that stock is flying away. Manappuram Finance holding strong. It's up closer on 2.9%. So good up move is what you're seeing. Interglobe Aviation flying away. That stock is up closer around 3% as well. And Infosys, that's probably actually the stock of the month because it saw a bit of a correction. And then from there, the stock has popped up. Today, we have a Nuvama note that's upgraded the stock as well. So that explains why Infosys is up close to around 2.5%. What's doing well from the broader markets? Well, you have Shriram Metallics, as should be mentioned, that's doing well. IRDA as well is up close to around 6% as we speak. They're looking at fundraising plans. They're going to be considering the same of around a quantum of around 4,500 crores on August 29th. So that's why the street likes that. The stock is moving higher as we speak. Some of the top volume movers, actually. Ola Electric on the downside, that's one of the top volume movers. That's down close to around 2%. Some mild profit taking after the big run that we're seeing out there. Reliance Park continues to remain in upper circuit, up close to around 5% or thereabouts. So it's a good opening, but the real strength is coming in from the broader markets. And you have close to around 6 stocks that are advancing for every one stock that's declining. Keep in mind, at the bottom of your screen, a couple of companies are mulling buybacks. The street likes that. TCI flying away. Aarti Drugs, the other one that's doing well.
Paras Defense, 4.5% up. They've got an industrial license to set up an undertaking, I think, in New Bombay. So that stock's up and about on the back of that development. Interglobe, a couple of positive notes coming in, and that seems to be helping that stock as well. By the way, Cyient DLM continues to see more traction, 4% up on Cyient DLM. So plenty of movers and shakers. Once again, it's the broader market that seems to be racing ahead.
No, absolutely. We'll have Vikash Kumar Jain with us in just a bit from now. And I just want to highlight that, Paytm should come up on your screen. You want to see what that is doing. A lot of interest around this one. Stocks now moved up almost to about 600 rupees. Zomato is higher, but Paytm is also higher after that transaction yesterday. It was widely expected. I mean, I remember discussing this with Nimesh on D Street Chatter, something that he'd highlighted earlier. So that has gone through. So I think from the highs of the day, it's kind of pulled back a little bit, but looking good. Zomato has also cooled off. It's up just about 1% now. So 262 on Zomato right now. And I think the high today is what, 268 nearly. So there again, there is a bit of a pullback which has happened. Kalyan Jewelers, the clean out trade, 5%, 5.5% higher. So that's a big one. Sham Metallics has moved up a little bit more. About 9% on Sham Metallics. I mean, it's basically Sham Metallics has moved up from $300 to 800 rupees in basically a year and a half. There is, of course, now sort of large institutional brokers coming out with coverage, etc. IREDA is up 6%, 252 on IREDA. Again, something that we were highlighting earlier. BEML is up about 2%. Plus, Aarti Drugs, I think we put out earlier. Deepak Nitrite is up about 4%. And I could go down, but then volumes start to flag a little bit. So I think we'll just sort of wait for more volumes to pick up. On the downside, apart from what we've kind of highlighted, Angel One is a loser. It's down about 2%. But again, that's on the back of the big, sharp 25% plus jump that we've seen recently. So 26.41 on Angel One. And there is SJVN, Nelco, HFCL, Garden Reach, Philips Carbon Black, lots of stuff coming up with some amount of cuts through and through. So that is essentially the market action. The Nifty itself about 45 points higher. We're at about 24,815 at this point in time. So, let's actually highlight Interglobe Aviation. I think Nimesh is going to be with us to talk about this one, where there is a call which has come through. An upgrade. What else?
This is actually Jefferies. I was looking at it. We'll get Nimesh in a bit to talk about it. The target price that Jefferies is now putting on the stock is 5,225. So it is still a substantial up move that they're talking about. And what is Jefferies really saying? They're saying that the operating performance has consistently surprised on the upside of the last many months, over a year. And they're saying that the company has maneuvered quite successfully through a lot of the headwinds, whether it's capacity constraints or costs. So that's what's making them quite optimistic. There's HSBC as well. Even HSBC's price target is northwards of 5,000. Some of these positive notes seem to be rubbing off on Interglobe. And for all practical purposes, guys, and how many airlines are there in the country now? It's come down to that level, right? We all know SpiceJet's issues and the regulatory headwinds they're running into, and of course a lot of payment issues. So Interglobe, and the fact that we're getting into a festive season. I was reading somewhere, I didn't check it on the apps myself, but apparently tickets for Diwali, they're already running into thousands and thousands. I mean, if you're booking a Delhi-Bombay ticket. So
Thousands and thousands, doesn't it could be 2,000, 3,000, 4,000?
No. Apparently, the headline of the piece I was reading was like 30,000 or something. Okay, so
you mean tens of thousands?
Tens of thousands. That's a better way of putting it. Yeah.
But no, absolutely. And by the way, of course, Indigo is now the analyst meet, the investor meet at 18 when they kind of sort of announce that they're going to have business class and they're really moving up the premium chain. So far, of course, it's been very efficiently run, and we'll, I think, have more on this one with Nimesh in a bit from now. But